Welcome to podcast episode number 175, What to Pack for Your Next Trip to Europe. When it comes to planning a trip to Europe, what you wear can make or break your trip. Being well-dressed is about so much more than just looking good. It's about having pieces that are functional as well as fashionable. In this episode, I share my top 10 items to help you pack light, yet dress well. But first, is your style in need of a jumpstart? Then I have just the thing for you. Find Your Signature Style is my flagship course, and it is a culmination of everything I have been teaching my clients for 14 years. This course gives you exactly what you need to build the foundation for your style, to build your wardrobe, to learn how to love shopping, and to fall in love with your style. Whether you feel like you don't have a style, you've lost your style, or your style just needs a little bit of a jump start, this is exactly the course for you. Designed to give you all the elements you need in 3 simple steps. We make finding your style as easy as 1, 2, 3. Click the link in the show notes or go to findyoursignaturesstyle.com and get ready to rock your style today. Welcome to Style by Mary Michele, a podcast designed to empower you through personal style. I'm your host, Mary Michele Nidifer, a master style coach, founder of Style Finder Boutique, and creator of the Style Finder ID system. I'm here to help you know what to wear, how to wear it, and how to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, and bonjour from Paris yet again. Yes, this is the second podcast this week that I have recorded in Paris, but by the time you're listening to it, I should be safely at home. Now, today we're talking about travel must-haves for packing, what to pack, basically. And so many women have asked me what to wear. What are you taking? What do I need to wear? And so many women have reached out. So I thought, well, I've got 10 suggestions for you. And if you're listening to this, then I want you to be sure to come join me over in the Style by Mary Michele podcast Facebook group, because I am going to have a download for you. I'm going to have a free list that you can download. And I want you to be able to get all the details, because I want this to help you. I want this to help you pack for your next trip. I know so many people have been telling me they've got a trip to Paris or Barcelona. That's been another popular destination. And so this list can work for you for, most places in Europe. To be honest, a lot of it is what I took to New York back in February. But depending on where you're going, you can tailor it to what works for you. And to be honest, it's fairly simple. It's fairly basic. Now, I love style, and I know a lot of women, when they go travel, they like to really do it upright and take their fancy clothes and their bold colors, but that's not what I do when I come to Europe. I kind of like to, I hate to say blend in with the tourists, but I certainly put my own spin on things. But I should say blend in with the locals. I think I said tourists, but I meant blend in with the locals. I don't think I stand out as a tourist at all. In fact, I had quite a few people come up and ask me directions in French. And when I told them I didn't speak French, they were very surprised. And so anyway, it's been interesting, but it's been an incredible trip. And one thing I have found myself wearing a lot of is number 1. And you guys are going to hate me for this. I can't believe I'm saying it, but black. So many people, I've posted quite a few videos, or a couple of videos, trying on outfits, planning my trip, planning my travel, both for New York and for Paris. And of course, in those videos, I had a pop of color, or I had some ivory or something. And several people said, do not wear your light neutrals. Do not wear, don't wear anything but black. And so, first of all, I want to debunk a myth that yes, women wear colors other than black here and in New York. And you don't have to wear just black. Although black is simple, I've seen a lot of other neutrals. But that's one thing that predominantly I would say is I have seen neutrals. And everything, I've seen a lot of ivory. surprisingly, I've seen a lot of camel. I've seen a lot of brown. One color I thought was interesting that I noticed in New York, and I'm noticing a lot of here, and I'm noticing a lot of men here are wearing it. And it's almost more of a sepia tone. It's a very warm, rich brown. And it works really well on those of you who have warm coloring, or if you have a darker skin tone with warm tones in it, it can look really gorgeous. But I've seen a lot of that. Another color I've seen a lot of is olive or avocado, which has been really fascinating. And kind of piggybacking on the sepia and the avocado, I've also seen some chartreuse, which is almost a lighter version of avocado. And I've seen some orange, which is, a lighter version of the sepia almost. And so those have been a little bit surprising, but the way they're worn, they're not really worn in this bold, bright way. They're worn in a very subtle, very understated way. And so I think that would be the overarching. If you're planning your color palette, you're planning your color capsule for your travel, the overarching color theme would be neutrals. But ladies, don't feel like you have to wear black, please, because if you don't wear black, and I know a lot of you who have worked with me have gotten rid of your black. So don't feel like you have to go out and buy black. I'm not telling you to go buy black. I have seen a lot of it. I love black. I wear black. And a couple of times I've found myself in an all black outfit, which is way more than I would wear at home in Raleigh, North Carolina. But, I blend, I feel like I'm right at home here. So it's worked well. And the upside of that is when you have a dark neutral, whether it's black or brown, or it could be navy, although navy gets tricky when you try to mix it. But with your black pieces, sometimes black can be tricky when you mix it if it's not the same shade, but you can easily mix and match different pieces and they'll all just kind of go together. And so if you think about that simplicity of it, then think about your neutrals, and that way you can take fewer pieces and you can have more options. And so black and neutrals are what I've seen a lot of, with a few pops, occasionally a pop of pink, occasionally a pop of purple. Although, magenta is the color of the year. And I bought a beautiful scarf a little while ago, a cashmere scarf, and it is bright magenta and ivory, but I'm going to wait and wear that when I get home. Actually, probably not when I get home because it's cashmere and I probably won't need it, but when it's time, I will definitely pull that out. So black or plenty of neutrals. So that's your color capsule. That's your starting point. And from there, layers. I cannot stress this enough. Don't bring your big bulky sweaters, but don't just bring your light, simple tank tops. Bring different weights and different pieces that can be layered and mixed and matched. Because one thing that I've found here is the weather can be very unexpected. Some days I literally was checking the forecast even up until the day I packed, and it was very different from what it had been the week before. And I found here, I checked the weather, and it's changed since when I got here. And so just know that the weather here is kind of like a Gemini. It's very fickle. And what you think the weather is going to be when you go to bed may not be the same case when you wake up in the morning. And I have loved having layers and being able to wear those. In fact, I went out for my bike ride the other day and I wore one of my lightweight classic tanks from Style Finder. I put a blouse over that. What was it? Our classic. Well, actually, it wasn't our classic oversized blouse. It was one of our tribal blouses that we had back in the fall. And I put that over it. And then I put a lightweight sweater that I'd gotten from Banana Republic. It was just a really lightweight, I believe it's a cotton blend. And it's a great weight for layering, because I could have several layers. And then if I got warm, I could take them off. Of course, I did not need to take them off, but I wore that. And then over that, I wore my trench coat. And so it's been nice to have a trench coat, or I brought a blazer that are oversized a little bit, or there's enough room for layering. And so having those pieces that I can say, okay, how many layers do I need today, has been amazing for giving me options. And so if you can see me now, you can watch this on YouTube, then you'll see I'm wearing a sleeveless top today. And it was freezing when I went out this morning, but I wore this, and over it, I wore my liquid leather jacket. And then I wore my trench coat, and I was perfectly fine. And I like this top. This is a top we had last summer at Style Finder, and still one of my favorites. But it's got a high neck, and I knew it was going to be chilly, and it's been very windy here. And so I had my hat on, I had my gloves on, and I would say a scarf. Well, actually, don't let me get ahead of myself. So we're just going to keep it at that. But bring lots of layers. Number 3, comfy shoes. This has been essential. Now, I did bring 3 pairs of shoes with me. I wore my Puma platform white sneakers on the plane. To be honest, I have not worn those as much as I thought I would. I wore them to travel, and then I wore them yesterday just to give my boots a break. But to be honest, I bought a great pair of Gabor boots before I went to New York, and I broke my own rule. You guys heard me talk about this, where I wore a brand new pair of boots to travel on the plane. And I tell you what, I did not get any blisters. They were so comfy. And I walked probably 16,000 miles the first day I wore them and had no after effects. Don't necessarily recommend that. I am not advocating for breaking shoes in on travel, but I did it and did not have any ill effects. But my Gabor platform black boots, excellent investment. I have worn those things. I'm not going to say I've worn them out, but I have worn them a lot. And they go with everything. I can wear them with my crop jeans. I can wear them with my skirts, my dresses. I can wear them with longer pants, and I love them. And they're simple, but they have enough edge so they look, well, they are European. In fact, I went into a Gabor store here, and they had some great things. Didn't have any boots, had all spring stuff, but highly, highly recommend comfy shoes. Now, I did bring a 3rd pair of booties, and I planned to wear those just when I was going to be walking short distances. Although they were pretty comfortable, and I wore those out one night when I went to a wine tasting. I only wore those once. I probably should have just brought my boots, but I like to have backups. But I wore those when I went out up for a wine tasting, and I cannot remember which arrondissement I was in, but I got a little turned around, and that was the day. Was that the day I walked 19,000 steps? I think it was. And so I walked a lot of steps in those boots and booties, and I realized I couldn't wear socks with those, but they were fine. And I've had them for a while. I love them. I tried them out thinking, can I really walk in these? And because, sometimes when I'm at home, we have such a convenient culture, and we wear shoes from the car to the house, or the house to the car to work. And then we're not doing a lot of walking. In fact, if you listen to my podcast on Tuesday, talking about the number of steps I realized I had been getting at home, which was not very many. We don't walk. Most of us don't walk in our everyday lives as part of our day. And so we have to take walks because walking is not built into our culture. And so wearing walking shoes is key. If you don't have walking shoes, get some, because you will regret it if you don't. And the great thing is, it used to be that if you wore sneakers, you kind of stood out as a tourist. Well, now sneakers are like so popular. Everybody wears sneakers. And I would say the 2 hottest brands I've seen here, everybody's got New Balance and everybody's got Orvasia. And I actually left my New Balances at home, which if I had brought them, I probably would have worn them more because I like them better than my Pumas. But I don't know, my Pumas, to be honest, I brought my Pumas because they're leather and they have a platform, and it was supposed to rain a lot. And my New Balance are not fully leather. They're partial leather, but I thought these would hold up better if there was a lot of rain. So that was a consideration for me. So bring comfy shoes, take the weather into account as far as, do you need something warm? You may not need boots, because if you're coming in the summer, your feet may burn up. So I would definitely say a great pair of sneakers. If you're coming in the summer, I would do a great pair of sandals. I had some amazing sandals that I brought last fall when I was here, and I cannot remember the brand, but they were reversible sandals, and they were so comfortable. The brand starts with an M. And I wish I could think of it. I'll try to link it in the show notes if I can think of it. But actually, if you will come download my list, I'll make sure I put it on the list. So comfy shoes, boots, sneakers, sandals. Leave your high heels at home. If you're coming to Paris, you're going to be walking on some cobblestone streets. You're going to be walking on some old stairs. In fact, the stairs up to my apartment are old. I don't even know how old this building is. I need to find out. But it's like almost like medieval old. Like there are beams in here. And there are some very there's some very loud noises outside. I made the mistake of leaving the window open, so I apologize. But there are a lot of uneven stairs. You do not want heels. You do not want anything that's going to be too much of a platform where you could turn your ankle on an uneven street. I've done that in New York City, and it is not fun. In fact, I broke a pair of shoes many years ago and had to go buy some new Kenneth Cole platforms. Such a travesty. But anyway, and my foot was fine. All right, number 4, wrinkle-free separates. Now, I will tell you, one of my favorite brands is one of probably our best-selling brands at Style Finder, Clara Sunwoo. I love our Clara Sunwoo pieces, our liquid leather jackets, our ITY knits. In fact, several of the pieces that I brought are from Clara Sunwoo. I have an ITY black skirt that we had years ago. They don't make it anymore, and I wish they did because it's a midi skirt, and it's one of those pieces that I put on and I could dress it up. I could dress it down. I absolutely adore the skirt, and I wear it a lot for travel. I could wear it over leggings. I could wear it with so many different things. I mean, I just cannot tell you how much I love the skirt. I also have some great bamboo separates that I wore to travel, and they're not completely wrinkle-free, but they're wrinkle-resistant. And so if I hang them up, and I've realized that if I hang things up, that the wrinkles will just fall out. And so I brought a beautiful blouse. It's a silk blouse, and it was kind of wrinkly when I pulled it out of my suitcase, but I hung it up and the wrinkles fell out. My liquid leather jacket, pretty wrinkle-free. I did bring t-shirts and tanks that I can roll up. I have, a lot of pieces that are wrinkle-free, wrinkle-resistant. Now, I did bring a white button-down blouse, and that had some wrinkles, but I knew I was going to wear it as a layer. And so usually a lot of times there's an iron. There's an iron here, but I was not going to iron. And if you're in a hotel room, there's probably an iron, but you probably don't really want to, right? So wear things that you can just hang up. The wrinkles will fall out and they will be good to go. Plus, if it's in an ITY knit, it's comfortable, it's easy to pack, and it's not bulky. And so if you've tried any of those pieces from Style Finder, we've got so many great dresses. The Felicity dress and the Kristen dress, tanks. We have our essential travel cardigan. Those pieces are all made to travel. And I tell you what, you could pack an entire wardrobe of those and take up probably half your suitcase, if that, and have so many different options. So wrinkle-free separates are definitely the way to go. Number 5, a good wrap. Now, I have a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous black cashmere wrap that my mom got for me for Christmas. It's from J. Crew. Actually, I found it because one of our clients came in and she was having her color analysis with me, and she brought a picture of it, and she was looking at 2 different colors. And I'm glad she asked because one was more warm and one was more cool. And so we determined that she needed I think it was the cooler one. But there were 2 shades of, one was more a camel and one was a little bit richer, a little bit deeper. And so the cooler tone was much better for her. And I remember seeing this wrap and just thought, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want for travel. And I have loved this wrap. I took it to New York and I wore it a lot there. And it's nice because it's something I can wear. I can wrap it around my neck if it's really cold. It was really cold in New York. I've wrapped it around my shoulders when I have my trench coat on. I've used it to cozy up with as like a little blanket when I'm in the apartment or on the plane. It was my little blankie. So it's just like that all-purpose. It could be a blanket. It could be a wrap. It could be a scarf. It can look very elegant. It can be very cozy. But when you have a piece like that and with cashmere, it just feels so good. And when you get a great neutral color, like with black, it goes with everything I have. Buy a color that works for you. Maybe it's a camel, maybe it's a turquoise, maybe it's your pop of color. But wear a color that pops your eyes or that goes with your hair or that really ties in with what you're packing. But a good wrap, and I highly recommend, I don't know what it's called, but it's a cashmere wrap from J. Crew, or at least they had it back in December. And I love, love, love it. But it takes up, it folds up to like nothing. All right, number 6, a good versatile coat or jacket. Now, you've heard me talk about how I wore my black trench coat. Now, I did get this from Banana Republic back in the fall before I went to Paris the first time because everybody said trench coat. And I'm not a huge trench coat fan. And I almost didn't bring it this time, but it's been a great piece because it's been very rainy. It's also been a little chilly, but I like it because it's not too heavy. And so I can wear it over a lot of layers or just a few layers when I need it. And it's a little bit longer. And so it has really been nice to have as that heavier piece. But then, on the way home, I'll probably just fold it up and put it in my suitcase and not have to wear it. But a good versatile coat or jacket, depending on your weather. So make sure you check the weather. Even in the summertime, chances are there's going to be some chilly weather. You might go into a restaurant. Maybe you're get into a rainstorm, depending on what you're doing. So find a good, I would say a good probably neutral jacket that you can pop on over whatever you're wearing. Maybe one that has a hood. I love a good anorak. They're also really, really good. We had some at Style Finder years ago, and I probably have, I don't know, I think I've collected about 2 or 3. I know I have 2 black ones, one lightweight, one a little heavier. And then I used to have a taupe one, but I think I had to get rid of it because I had just basically wore it out. But it's a great piece that you can just throw on. It's chic. It's not, the anorak, it's in this great fabric. There are a lot of great Barber jackets out there that are all purpose. They give you a little bit of warmth. They give you some protection from the rain. I've seen a lot of women and men wearing lightweight, I would say short puffer jackets, and a lot of North Face short puffer jackets, or all sorts of different brands. But that's been pretty ubiquitous. I haven't really seen any long puffer jackets. I guess because it's not totally winter, it's just a little chilly. But that's one thing I did see a lot of in New York is really long puffer jackets. But New York gets brutally cold, so that could be the difference. But some type of a good versatile coat and or jacket. Number 7, a cross-body bag. Now, if you're traveling to Europe, one thing you want to be aware of are pickpockets. And so leave the backpack at home, leave the shoulder bag at home, leave the tote, leave anything else at home. I did not bring my Neverfull. I just would not do it. Because you don't want to be walking through the street with that thing. First of all, it's way too bulky. I mean, I would totally take it because I can put all my stuff in there. But what I do, I have a great, it's the brand I think is The Sack. And I adore this bag. And I can't even tell you where I bought it, but I bought it years ago and it's become my go-to travel bag. It's the perfect size. I can put a small umbrella in there. I can put a bottle of water in there. I can put a map in there if I need to. Well, when I used to carry maps, now it's just, I have 2 phones that I carry, one for pictures and content and one for usually GPS or whatever. And I can have other things, my AirPods or my sunglasses or mints or snacks or whatever the kids want to hand me. And so it's not massive, but it is a crossbody bag. And so if I ride the metro or if I'm walking through an area, which, think about Paris is it's pretty nice mostly, but I've come across a few homeless people. Nobody's really said much, but I felt very, very safe. But there are a couple of areas that's like you definitely want to take a money belt or you want to do something. Now, I did get a little crossbody. I forgot what it's called. The Lululemon crossbody. I can't remember what it's called. I'm totally spacing here, but it's from Lululemon. It's black. It goes across your body and it's like a belt bag, I guess. And it's been nice, but and I've worn it a couple of times, but I like to carry a little bit more stuff. And because the weather's been so unpredictable, I've wanted to take an umbrella, or I've wanted to take two phones to take all the pictures. And I just have wanted to carry a few more things. So a crossbody bag, it could be the Lululemon, if you like that small size. I like something that's got a little more room to it. I mean, a lot of women are carrying designer handbags. I think that would be completely fine. Sometimes you do want to be careful about that just because it can make you a target. But I think that having a good crossbody bag is a must. Do not carry a backpack. And I know it seems counterintuitive because especially if you have kids or you want to just throw your stuff in a backpack. No, I did bring a backpack for one purpose. And that's because I knew I was going on a bike tour. And so when I did the bike tour, I wore the backpack, and that's the only time I've used it. And it's fine. It's one I bought for my last trip because I did a bike tour, and that's the only time I'll use it. But it comes in handy, or could also do my little Lululemon bag. But again, I wanted to take more things with me. And so I highly, highly recommend leave the backpacks at home because people can and will. Apparently, I've not had a problem, knock on wood, but apparently pickpockets are prevalent. And if they can get to your bag and you can't see it or you can't secure it, then you could be missing something, and you do not want that on your travels. So crossbody bags only. All right, number 8, a hat. Now, I'm not going to tell you what kind of hat to wear, but I will tell you to bring a hat, because if it gets windy or it gets chilly or it gets sunny, I always take a hat. I always have some type of hat with me because the weather that's here, I brought my beret and I brought my newsboy cap, and I've worn them both, and I've loved having them because if it's a little chilly, you want to keep your head warm because that'll keep the rest of your body warm. Plus, if your hair gets a little crazy, it has been windy. A couple of days I wore my beret just to keep my hair out of my face because the wind blows, your hair goes right in your face and you can't see where you're going. It's a little frustrating. And so a hat, if you're going somewhere sunny or you know it's going to be sunny, you want the hat to keep the sun off your face. Now, I love to buy hats when I'm traveling. I have not bought a hat on this trip, but it certainly is something that you could think about. So if you want to just wait till you get there and buy something, great, but you never know what you're going to find or, how expensive it's going to be. A lot of times if you're going somewhere touristy, they could jack the prices up, but a good hat is a must. Number 9, sunglasses. Umbrellas are necessary as well, but you never know. In fact, the other day I got off the metro when I went to this wine tasting, and it was raining, but the sun was out. And so I had on my sunglasses and my umbrella. And I just had to kind of laugh because I thought, wow, polar opposites right here. But it happens. But when it gets sunny, it helps to protect your eyes. I actually was walking down the street the other day, and somebody was doing some construction right in the street, and they were using a saw, and all the sawdust was flying up. And sadly, I did not have my sunglasses with me that day because it was supposed to rain. And I wish I had, because I kind of got some sawdust in my eyes, which you would not see that in the US. You just wouldn't. You go to Home Depot or somewhere and have them cut wood for you, and they've got the safety glasses. They'll make you stand back. And anyway, it was just kind of surprising, but space is at such a premium here. So anyway, but sunglasses are essential for, protecting your eyes from the elements. Sometimes it's nice just to have a pair of sunglasses with you. And plus they up your chic factor if they're good sunglasses. But having a great pair of sunglasses is essential. And then number 10, chic denim. Bring your chicest denim jeans, your denim jackets. I've seen some amazing denim coats, long coats, like maxi coats, and I love them. There was one woman I saw, I wish I'd gotten a picture, but she was wearing this amazing long denim maxi coat. And I looked up and I was like, oh my God, that's fabulous. And so I would say a chic denim coat jacket, pair of jeans, whatever it is, make sure it's nice denim. A lot of people are wearing denim. We're seeing a lot of raw edges. I'm seeing a little bit of patchwork. Patchwork denim can be hot right now. In fact, I brought my jeans from Style Finder. I've got the Laurier jeans and love them. And those to me look very Parisian. And I've seen quite a few people wearing things that are sort of similar. And I just think that denim with neutrals is such an easy classic look. It's an easy way to, think about doing all the things you're going to be doing. And even if you're going to a 5-star restaurant, chances are you can wear your denim. I went to a 5-star restaurant the other night and I wore my denim. Actually, I should say I went to a Michelin star restaurant. I don't know if it's a 5-star restaurant, but I think they do have at least one Michelin star. But it was a very nice restaurant. And a lot of people were dressed as tourists, which you could tell, they had been out all day. Maybe they had changed a little bit, but they were not overdone. And so denim is perfect for pretty much whatever you're doing, unless you have something really, really dressy planned. Jeans are fine. Denim is fine. Layers. Now, I'm going to give you a little bonus. And this is not something to wear, but something to have, and something that I have found to be very, very helpful. And that is a reusable shopping bag. Because if you go to the market or you go to Monoprix or you go to a little grocery and want to pick up a few things, a lot of times they don't have bags or you'll have to buy a bag. And so if you can have a reusable bag, I threw one in to my suitcase. In fact, last time I was here, I got one of the reusable totes from Monoprix. I bought one of the plastic ones. It was not much, like 15, I don't know how much it was, less than €1, I believe. She actually gave me this little pouch. And in the pouch, I should have brought that. In the pouch was a folded up reusable tote. But what I did bring this time, I actually brought two. I brought my big plastic Monoprix bag, which I used that the first day. I knew, and I'm glad I did. Because I knew I wanted to go to the grocery store, and I bought some things so I could make a couple of meals, just super light meals in the apartment. And I have eaten a few meals here. It's just been nice to not have to go out for everything, not have to sit down. And I did do takeaway one night, but it's been really nice to have some salad. I bought some greens. There were some supplies here so I could make a vinaigrette. I cooked some salmon, amazing goat cheese. I got almond milk. I got some kefir to make my overnight oats, and a couple of other things. Of course, some really good chocolate and some tea and things like that. So I wanted a few provisions, and then, some fruit. I wanted a few provisions just to have on hand for snacks. And so every time I want something to eat, I don't have to leave the apartment or, go sit down somewhere for an hour. And so having a reusable shopping tote has been really, really helpful. But I also found myself bringing another bag. And it's actually one that we got free in New York in February at the trade shows. One thing I love about going to the trade shows is they always give you some kind of reusable bags. And a lot of times I'll just end up leaving them for housekeeping in the hotel because I have so many. But this one I kept, and it's interesting. It's made out of a French terry. It's not really big, and it's got handles that I could carry, or it's got a shoulder strap. And I found myself bringing that a couple of times, actually quite a few times. I did put in my gloves as a backup. I could carry my umbrella if I needed to, but then I had a bag with me. So if I bought something, I could throw it in there. And whether I did stop and get some skincare at one of the pharmacies, and I bought some tea. I bought all sorts of things, and not everybody is forthcoming with their shopping bags. If you buy clothing, you're good to go. But if you stop at a little, sometimes you just don't want a shopping bag. You just want to throw it in your bag. So if you're buying something small, or if you need to swing by the pharmacy and let's say your deodorant runs out like mine did, and you need to swing by the pharmacy and pick something up, you don't necessarily want to carry, a little paper bag or plastic bag. In fact, I don't even know if they do plastic, but it's just been nice to have a reusable bag. So I would say bring a reusable tote bag. that's cute, that you can carry around, that you can put your essentials in. It's not too bulky, but it's certainly going to make things a lot easier. And especially, I ended up stopping at the grocery store the other day, kind of impromptu. And I was like, oh, I've got my little bag. I can just throw some things in there. So it worked out really well. And I didn't have to struggle to get things home. So anyway, let's go back through that list. My travel must-haves for Europe. Number 1, colors. Focus on black and or neutrals for your color palette. Number 2, layers. Tons of layers. Everything from tanks to jackets to tops, pieces that can mix and match and work well together. Number 3, comfy shoes are a must. Number 4, wrinkle-free separates. Number 5, a good wrap. Cashmere preferred, but not essential. Number 6, a good versatile coat or jacket. Number 7, a cross-body bag. Leave the backpacks and the shoulder bags at home. Number 8, a hat. You never know when you want to keep the warmth in or keep the sun off your face. Number 9, a great pair of sunglasses. And number 10, chic denim. Bring your most fabulous jeans, bring your denim jackets, your denim coats, and do not be afraid to rock your denim. Ladies, I hope you have loved this episode. Make sure you go to the Style by Mary Michele podcast group in Facebook. You can download this list. And I hope you have a wonderful time on your next adventure. I hope these tips have helped you to pack, to be a more savvy packer, more savvy traveler, and have a better adventure, because dressing well is key to enjoying your vacation. I'll see you on the next episode. Mwah. Au revoir from Paris. Thanks for tuning in to Style by Mary Michele, where women come to get dressed in 7 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Style by Mary Michele and shop our boutique at shopstylefinder.com for the best in upscale casual apparel. Better yet, if you're in the Raleigh area, come see us. We're located in the North Hills Shopping Center, the premier shopping district in Midtown Raleigh. For details and links mentioned in this episode, be sure to see the show notes. Have a beautiful week.